Hello Steelers and welcome to another Bench Report hobby update. This week has been a relatively busy week for me for painting wise, to be honest, largely because the things I've been painting have been quite easy, or at least one of them has anyway. I also went to Partisan as well on Sunday, which I will talk about later on in the video. But the first thing I painted was, you may remember that I got some Battlefronts VC Viet Cong local forces, and I painted these. This is the Battlefronts platoon pack, so there's quite a lot in there. I've not actually counted up how many figures are in there, but that's basically a platoon. I've not done them all yet. There's still a few more individual figures that I'm going to paint, but these ones are the multi-based ones, so there's 3 and 2 figures on each of these bases. Because I'm doing it for Charlie Don't Surf, I want to, and it's quite a lot of figures on the table. I want to, have some just based up in the in multiples rather than individuals. I might use them as well for Chain of Command Vietnam, DMZ as it's also called, at some point, because I am going to be doing some individual figures, including big men and things and leaders. So I'll be able to swap things about and mess about with those. If I play more of Chain of Command of it, then I will be obviously adding a few more extra singles. But I was quite pleased to get those done and out of the way. I'm currently hunting for, I need at least 2 more platoons of VC at the moment. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just painting the entire box I got, and then I will organise them into their units, rather than actually organising them and painting. I just want to get them all painted, and they are relatively simple to paint as well, because they're pretty much just black with little bits of equipment really. The other thing as well I painted, I managed to knock out another battalion of the Warlord Epic figures. These are another British battalion, so this is the 3rd one. Only 7 more to go now. This is the 2nd Battalion, 44th East Essex. I haven't done the commander yet, or the 95th Rifles that are also on the same sprue, or the gun either. I paint them separately, but at the moment with these I'm just trying to paint a sprue at a time, same with the French, so I'll do the battalion as a block, and then the other bits and pieces, just add those in as well later on, just to break it up a little bit, because otherwise you just end up endlessly painting red. I might change over and do some more cavalry. I haven't got much French cavalry done at the moment, so I might jump over to those next for the Napoleonics, but I'm kind of keep doing that stuff as a little bit of a background with the other painting. So it's kind of, I don't just want to be painting Napoleonics 15mm for forever and ever. I want to break up, and I'm doing that very successfully at the moment with the Vietnam stuff as well. But staying with the epic stuff, Warlord Games got in touch. So incredibly kindly, they have sent me a box of British Highlanders and Riflemen to have a look at. I've done a box opening for this. This will be coming at some point, all of these stuff. This will be coming at some point in the future. But I got these from them. I also got the French Middle and Old Guard as well. So there's at least 3 battalions of each of those things in there. And incredibly kindly, on top of that, they also sent me the Prussia Bluchers starter set as well. So that's another 1,000 figures to paint. Because for some reason I always kind of seem to concentrate pretty much on the British and the French when it comes to the Waterloo campaign, the Napoleonic stuff. So it's really nice to have the Prussians as well, so I'll be able to paint those at some point. They should be relatively easy to paint because they're pretty much grey and blue. But again, massive thank you to Warlord Games for sending this stuff out to me. I will be using it in future videos. I mean, like I say, I've done a box opening of all 3 of these anyway at this point, just to say that I've got bits of to show you what's in those, and I will endeavour to do some painting guides for the Prussian stuff at some point when I get a chance to do them, and then also I'll do some games with them as well at some point. So that is something that's way in the future, but once again, just to say thank you massively to Warlord for those. The other thing that I got in the post as well from Battlefront was kind of back to the VC stuff, is the 3 rifle platoons of US infantry. These are quite interesting because they also have medics in them as well, along with the headquarters. They've got 3 squads, medic and a HQ team. I got 3 of these. These all came from the Battlefront website. Again, these are going to be for Charlie Don't Surf. You actually have medics in Charlie Don't Surf, so that's going to be very useful. These match very well with the Peter Pig stuff that I've already got, so I'm currently just building up the Vietnam thing at this point, and like I say, it's going to be bubbling away probably for several months before I can get everything painted, and then a game of Charlie Don't Surf on the table. But the good thing about the Battlefront stuff is, even if you're not using it for Flames of War, you know, they basically are a platoon. So I haven't seen if they match the orders of battle that are in Charlie Don't Surf exactly, but I'm going to be doing that at some point later, just so I can work it out and work out the platoons. So currently I've got some VC, I've also got some Americans at this point. Over the year, this year coming, I'm going to be buying some more North Vietnamese stuff as well, so more of their regular army as well as the irregulars with the VC. So that should be interesting, something I'm looking forward to doing. But I'm not going to overwhelm myself with that stuff. I just want to kind of do it as it comes along. The other thing as well, it wasn't in the post, but it was sent to me with the guys over at Studio Tomahawk, sent through a PDF of their new game, V for Victory, which is their Second World War platoon level game. I haven't had an actual look at it properly yet. I've had a flick through. I never really liked reading PDFs so much, but I've had a flick through of it. It's card-driven game. It feels a little like a board game trying to be a war game. I'm not sure how a good thing that is. It has some interesting rules in there. I don't know how they'd work until you see it on the tabletop. Like there's some spotting and there's some other bits and pieces like that, which I don't know. I'm not sure how it'll work. There's some interesting shock style of morale in there as well. I mean, it's one of those games I think, you know, people are going to like it who are going to like it. People who aren't going to like it aren't going to like it, but you'll just have to wait and see. But I think that is out in the next, I think it's coming out June the 6th, I think, for D-Day. Currently, the game itself only covers, I think it's Northwest Europe, so British, Germans, and Americans, I think. As I say, I've only really had a quick flick through it myself. But basically it's like 1944-45 stuff, really. I think there might be Soviets in there as well, so it's not just Northwest Europe. But, you know, it's the basic stuff you would expect. And I know quite a few people are looking forward to that. So it's something to have a look at if you're interested in that kind of thing. Also, this week as well, I played a couple of games. It has been Jungle Fever. I played a solo game of Chain of Command last weekend, which I've filmed for a battle report, which will be out at some point in the future, in the next couple of weeks. It's probably going to be the next video after the week's just gone video. So it may be out next week, it may be out a week after, I don't know yet. I'm just kind of experimenting a little bit with release dates at this point, going back to what I've talked about with channel changes and things. It's a game based in Hong Kong. The Stanley Peninsula, 24th, 25th of December, with the Hong Kong Volunteer Defence Corps getting pushed back by various Japanese units, and they were eventually destroyed on the Stanley Peninsula, just north of Stanley Village. Very sad end to some very brave men, but I wanted to try out some of the new rules for the Far East, including the Japanese rules in particular. I'll not tell you how that goes because it will be coming soon on the channel, as I've already said anyway. Also, we played a game of the Malaya campaign, the scenario 4 of the Malaya campaign. This was down at the club. This was against Dex, his Japanese. We're doing a flank attack on my Australians, who were holding on with absolute grim determination. Incredibly tense, great battle. Both of us said afterwards how intense it was and how much of a headache we had just from thinking, which to me shows a great game of Chain of Command. It just really demonstrates how good a game it is anyway, and also the fact that the Far East Handbook really adds to the game itself. It's basically he was decimating my soldiers left, right and centre. I managed to get a charge in against well, he blundered into one of my units, and then we had a close combat. I think I ended up killing something like 8 or 9 of his men, or causing 8 or 9 hits on his men, and he ended up killing 3 or hitting 3 or something like that. It was a huge disappointment on his part. Absolutely destroyed that section pretty much, and they ran off into the jungle. Then I led another charge. My lieutenant Ernie Gilchrist led a charge into the Japanese, another Japanese unit, managed to destroy them almost. push them back at least. Unfortunately, Ernie was killed in the lead, but he will have got mentioned in dispatches, if nothing else. Dex said he was mad. I think his men were following him just out of curiosity, if nothing else. But it came down to basically down to the force morale. Dex had to win the game by having 3 or more force morale. He'd got mine right down to 1, but his was also down on 2, I think it was. So he actually lost the game pretty much just on those points. So it's my first win out of the Malaya campaign so far. I don't know if that's going to help me out in the next one, because I think I took in total 18 casualties, of whom 9 were killed in action. So my platoon has dropped from about 30 men now down to, I think it's no more than about 10 at this point. I don't even know what I'm going to do in the next game. I might have to give ground and get some replacements, I think. But brilliant game, really, really good. And Dex is just such a good opponent as well, especially with using the Japanese and their dirty tricks. And yeah, as I said, I went to Partisan last Sunday. So hello to everybody who came up and said hello, everyone who I saw there and chatted with. I spent the first half of the day just actually walking around and chatting. It took forever to actually get round the place, and then I think I wasn't finished filming till about 4 o'clock, so I was there pretty much all day. Really good. When I got there about 10 in the morning, half 10, I think it was 25 past half 10, there was still a queue outside. It was moving quick, but there was still a queue. I'd seen photos of the queue, and some people were queuing from 9. You know, these people are dedicated to the cause, and I think from looking on the internet, I think it looks as though it was probably the most attended, record-breaking show they've had yet, and that is brilliant. It really shows a good, healthy hobby at the moment, and you know, long may it last and keep going as well. I also did a show report video. If you haven't seen that, it is on the channel. Go and check that out. It's one of the most recent videos. Just go and check it out. I'll put it out on Monday, I think I was able to. So it's kicking around. Just go and check that out. All right, I'll leave it at that. Nothing more to tell you this week. It's been pretty busy painting. Quite a lot is coming through the post. So I've got plenty of stuff to be getting on with. Don't forget, if you are buying anything from Warlord, like these box sets, or for example, please use the my code in my affiliate link in the description down below. Check out the Patreon. Also check out channel memberships, because you'll get these videos early. I've started putting these bench reports out on Friday for a public release on a Sunday. So you do get these a bit earlier, and other bits and pieces as well. And also, if you haven't, please do subscribe, and I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.